Good thing.
Anyone there? Oh my god. Pull me up! Pull me up! Pull me up! What do you see?
Backrooms is one of those rare horror films that manages to take an internet phenomenon and transform it into something that feels genuinely cinematic. Directed by young filmmaker and YouTube creator Kane Parsons, the movie expands on the famous Backrooms creepypasta while staying true to the unsettling atmosphere that made the concept so popular in the first place. The story follows Clark, a struggling furniture store owner whose life has been slowly falling apart. Dealing with financial troubles, loneliness, and personal demons, he accidentally discovers a hidden passage behind a wall in his store's basement. What lies beyond is something impossible to explain. An endless labyrinth of yellow rooms, empty hallways, and seemingly infinite corridors that stretch far beyond the limits of reality. At first, Clark is fascinated by the discovery. Rather than running away, he becomes obsessed with documenting and understanding this strange dimension. Alongside a pair of employees, he begins exploring deeper into the maze, recording everything they encounter. But the farther they travel, the more apparent it becomes that the backrooms are not simply an abandoned place. Something else exists there, something watching, waiting, and moving through the endless corridors. As Clark's obsession grows, his therapist Mary becomes concerned about his increasingly erratic behavior. When she follows the trail of clues left behind by him, she eventually finds herself trapped within the backrooms as well. From that point onward, the mystery deepens, as both characters are forced to confront not only the dangers lurking within the maze, but also the emotional baggage they have carried with them for years. What immediately stands out about Backrooms is its atmosphere. Instead of relying on cheap jump scares, the film creates fear through isolation and uncertainty. The endless yellow hallways, buzzing lights, and repetitive rooms feel strangely familiar, yet deeply unsettling. Even though the environment is brightly lit, it somehow feels more disturbing than the dark settings used in most horror films. The production design is also impressive. Despite its modest budget, the backrooms feel incredibly real, with practical sets that make every corridor and room feel immersive. The cast delivers strong performances as well, especially Clark, whose curiosity gradually turns into obsession as he becomes determined to understand the impossible world around him. Mary provides a strong contrast to Clark, bringing a more rational perspective to the story while facing her own emotional struggles. Together, they give the film a surprisingly strong emotional core. What makes Backrooms particularly interesting is that the maze feels like more than just a setting. It reflects the fears, regrets, and inner struggles of the characters, adding a psychological layer to the horror. The film isn't perfect. While the first two acts build mystery and tension brilliantly, the final act becomes a bit more conventional, leaning into a familiar survival horror formula. Still, it's an exciting conclusion that doesn't ruin the experience. Overall, Backrooms proves that great horror comes from strong ideas and atmosphere rather than huge budgets. It's creepy, immersive, and surprisingly thoughtful, making it an easy recommendation for fans of psychological horror and liminal space storytelling.
Please, I'm begging you! Please! I'm desperate! I don't know what to do! Please subscribe!